Welcome back to the Ben Mulroney Show. Career reinvention is something that a lot of people have to go through. I've gone through it myself. It can be really difficult to imagine, your identity can be wrapped up in what you do and how the world sees you, and acknowledging that it's time to turn the page and try something different can be really difficult. And I have to imagine that for a professional athlete, it's got to be even more difficult. And I'm so pleased to be joined by one of the great tennis players that this country has ever produced, who is a great person. He's a great Canadian. He's been a great tennis player. And on the eve of his final match here in Canada, he's turning the page on a professional tennis career, and we're going to be talking to him about everything that came before and what is to come next. Please welcome to the Ben Mulroney Show, Vasek Pospisil. Thanks so much for being here, Vasek.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so congratulations on a great career. It's ending after the National Bank Open? Is that what it's called now?
That's right.
The National Bank Open here in Toronto. So break it down for me. Take me back to the beginning. How long has your professional career been?
It's been 18 years. 18 years professionally, and playing tennis for 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, my whole life.
So you've been playing tennis your whole life. Talk to me about how do you come to this decision? How do you decide, okay, it's time to do something different?
Yeah, it's never easy. I think everyone goes through a different path. For me, of course, I'm 35 now, which is
you look 22.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to eat well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just felt burned out. I mean, mentally, physically, tons of injuries, especially the last 3 years. I've tried to come back multiple times. I've had 3 separate elbow tears, and eventually, that wears you down mentally as well. And I think combining that along with just, getting involved in business the last 4 or 5 years, and my passion for the game is just, has decreased substantially. So.
Yeah, the fire in you to go out there and compete each and every day has become something different.
Exactly.
And I think, but being self-aware enough it can sometimes, there are a lot of athletes who are they're such competitive beasts that everything else disappears. It's that desire to keep fighting despite the physical limitations, despite age, despite everything else. They can't see that the right course of action, the smart thing to do, would be to hang it up.
Yeah, exactly. And it can be that's part of it for sure. And then also, many athletes don't necessarily have anything next, right?
Yeah.
So I see it even today. There's guys that I'm sure that maybe realize that they're not going to, accomplish anything greater than they already have, but they feel like, well, if I stop playing now, what am I going to do? And my whole identity is tied to this sport. So they try to, I would say, in some ways milk it to the end or as long as they can. And for me, there's so much more to life in general, and so many things that I still want to pursue and accomplish in my lifetime, including having a family and getting involved in business. So I felt like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze at this point to keep going.
I've had so many conversations with friends. We have these like big conversations. If you could be a professional athlete in any sport, what sport would offer you like the best life? And I always thought tennis was the one, because the places you could travel and I don't know, being outdoors all the time and having that one-on-one thing. It's not part of being necessarily part of a team, but having your own team that works with you, competing against the best in the world. Obviously, the financial upside is great as well. For you, as somebody who actually lived that life, when you look back, what are the moments, what are the things about being a professional tennis player that you remember as being just the best?
Yeah, it is an incredible sport. There's no sport like it. But it's very tough. It's very draining because you're on the road nonstop. You start, end of December, you're flying to Australia, and then you finish the year, mid to late November. So there's many sacrifices that come with it, but the good parts, you do get to see the world. You make incredible friends. You see, obviously, if you reach the top of the game, then the lifestyle is great. And for me, the best moments at the end of the day are just the people that I got to meet and be around, and playing with Davis Cup team and being in the locker room with those guys, super special. And it's easy to take things for granted, right? It's not so often that you kind of stop in your tracks and reflect and realize and be grateful for, where you are today and where you were, let's say 10 years ago, and the dreams that you had. And so it's something that I've tried to remember throughout the course of my career. You know, it's easier said than done sometimes because you're always looking to the next thing and you want to achieve more and more, and you put all this pressure on yourself. But I think that's really kind of, you know, it's been hitting me pretty hard the last couple of weeks.
What was your favorite tournament to play?
That's changed over the years. It's a moving target.
Yeah.
You know, at first, I mean, it's always Canada, always the Masters event. You know, Toronto, Montreal. It's always my favorite. Home crowd support. That's always number one. But early years was Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And then,
why was it the pomp and circumstance? Was it the royal thing? Was it the grass? What was it?
Yeah, the tradition, the grass, the all white, you know, it's the biggest tournament in the world.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I mean, as a kid, you're watching Wimbledon as the biggest, the tournament to win, the tournament to compete at. So when you're finally there, it's pretty surreal. And then, of course, just like everything, eventually that, you know, when you've been there 4 or 5, 6 times, you know, you start to get used to it. Or you know? So for me, it moved to the U.S. Open. U.S. Open became my favorite tournament.
That's a party, right? The audience is
exactly,
so raucous
because of the atmosphere. And I love playing in front of, you know, loud crowds and huge,
they are loud.
You know, and so many Canadians come down and watch and cheer. So it was so in a funny way, it felt like a home tournament. Yeah. Unless I was playing an American, then it was like 50. It was actually 50-50. There's so many Canadians that it would be.
Now I could ask you like what your favorite memory is, but I think a more interesting is what memory does your family hold in the highest esteem? What part of your career gives your family the most pride?
Wow, that's you know, I've never even asked my dad that question or my family in general, but I would guess that it would be the Wimbledon title in 2014, and then of course winning Davis Cup for Canada for the first time in history. I would say, I guess Wimbledon was probably first, just because I was still quite young. It was 2014, and then Davis Cup happened in 2022, more, you know, just a couple of years ago at the end of my career, really. So, but those are the two top ones I would imagine they would.
So years ago, Daniel Craig had just finished shooting and then promoting a James Bond movie. And immediately the press was asking him, are you going to do another one? And his reaction was immediate and guttural. He's like, absolutely not. I'm done. And people got very offended by that. And he eventually, after a few weeks, you know, he walked it back and he said, look, when you ask somebody who just finished a marathon, are they looking forward to doing the next marathon? Of course, they're going to say no because they're in pain. But you've got to give a little bit of time for that pain to go away, for it to become an echo, eventually a memory. And at that, ask me then. And then, of course, he came back and did another movie. Is there a part of you that's concerned that if you're gone, if you leave the sport after a little while, you're going to miss it?
Yeah, there is, for sure. You know, right now where my mental state is, I just like can't wait. You know, I can't wait to get it.
You've just been doing it for so long. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I do think that I'll reach a point where I'll miss it for sure. And I'll always stay close to the sport. I mean, it's I'm an expert in tennis, right? Yeah. So it's it's been my lifelong passion for so many years, and maybe now I'm a bit burned out, but like you said, I think maybe in a couple of years that fire in me will reignite in some way. Maybe I won't make a comeback on tour, but maybe, who knows? I don't know. No, just kidding. But but like you said, I mean, I'm sure it's been such a big part of my life that it's only natural that I'll definitely miss it and want to come back in some way.
Thanks so much for watching the show. Now, if you enjoyed what you saw, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode of The Ben Mulroney Show.